My favorite holiday now is the 4th of July. Here's why. I'm not a patriotic person. This country is turning to garbage. I love 4th of July, though, because down the street from us, there is a bar that puts on every year a pickled egg eating contest at 2 p.m. My wife and I have gone for the last 3 years because it is so fun. I love nothing more than to see a bunch of people so excited to do something so dumb. Every year for 3 years, it's about a table. I'll paint you a picture. It's like 20 grown men, all named Todd. And they're like the broiest bros. They're so pumped. They're screaming beforehand like, woo, let's do this. Let's fucking do this. And they're about to make the worst decision. They're going to eat as many pickled eggs as possible in 5 minutes in triple-digit heat. It's so fun to watch. Not to participate, to watch. And this past year, the second place winner, yeah, Todd, number 2, he ate 12 eggs in 5 minutes, washing each one down with a beer. And he ended with his face in a bucket provided by the bar. If the bar is going to give you a bucket for this thing, maybe it's a bad idea. And all these guys, this is the start to their 4th of July. It's 2 p.m. They're all going to heavily drink all day. They don't think it through. It's magnificent. This guy's already vomiting at 2 p.m. And what's even better about this, Todd, he was not only starting off his 4th of July, he had just gotten from the airport, and he was starting off a 3-day bachelor party, and he was already vomiting. And then, Todd number 1, first place, he ate 38 eggs. Think about that. Second place, 12 eggs. This guy could have eaten 25 less eggs and still won. And he had to be macho about it, and he died. Yeah. So, next year, everybody, we're going to Haymaker. It's so fun. By the way, all you have to do to compete is take one bite. You get a free t-shirt. So, hey! We're going to compete next year. My favorite thing about not having a kid is that you can poison their mind and then just hand it back to the parent. Like, good luck unweaving that web of lies I just wove. My wife and I were babysitting a friend's kid a couple weeks ago, and he was really into Bigfoot. And so we started leaving these notes around the house. We were like, oh, there's notes from Bigfoot. He must be around. He got so excited. He's like, we have to catch him. We got to set a trap. So I was like, well, yeah, of course. Well, here's what we do. We all know that Bigfoot loves ham sandwiches. And he was like, yeah, I know. So we just put some netting on the ground with a ham sandwich in the middle. It was a terrible trap. It wouldn't catch anything. And we stand way back in the distance. And at one point, I'm just like, oh my God, is that Bigfoot? And my wife and I are freaking out like, oh my God, it's Bigfoot. And then there's nothing there. He just goes, we're like, did you see it? And he's like, yeah! Oh my God, it's Bigfoot! It's Bigfoot! There's no Bigfoot there. And they're like, oh my God, I guess he got away. And then the rest of the weekend, all weekend, he's like, oh my God, I can't believe we're the only people that have ever seen Bigfoot. He was so pumped. And then the weekend's up, and we give him back to his parents, and then we're like, oh, by the way, we caught Bigfoot. See you later, we're gonna go do drugs. And then The parents were just not happy. They were like, he starts school tomorrow. He's gonna tell all the kids and the teachers he saw Bigfoot. They were like, oh man, that sucks. And man, it's great. What's even crazier though? 2 days later, I text the parents. I'm like, hey, I was all excited. I was like, oh, is he still into Bigfoot? He's still talking about it? And they're like, no, he moved on. Like 2 days later. Can you imagine? You at least thought you caught Bigfoot. And 2 days later, like, nah, I'm into fire trucks now. Somebody asks you like, oh, aren't you the person that caught Bigfoot? Yeah, this is fine, but have you seen how shiny fire truck engines are? They're the best! Yep, I lost my place. There we go. Oh, I was a kid once. I was dumb as shit. I'm dumb now. I was even dumber when I was a kid. When I was little, my grandpa, this is the cutest thing, honestly. And if you have kids, this is such a great tradition. I highly recommend it. My grandpa, this is the sweetest thing. Every morning anytime we visit, before he would go to work, he would bury a bunch of change in the corner of his backyard and say that these like ghost pirates buried it there. It was awesome. It was like Christmas for us year round. It was so cool. It was really a sweet thing. But think about how stupid that is. Like, this was in Alice, Texas. This is a very landlocked, there is no water. There's no body of water. And then these pirates every day bring their treasure, which is just like $8 worth of loose change. They like go 2 hours in from the coast to drop it off in the same spot every day for the same little children to foil their plan. You'd think one of the pirates would have something to say. Like, "Yar, Captain, maybe we bury the treasure somewhere else." I can't do a pirate. I don't know how to end that. This is terrible. Thank you. They say that 1 in 18 people have a third nipple, and there's slightly more than 18 people here, so let's see ya! I think we should call deviled eggs satanic eggs. Let's stop fucking around. I need protein, but first I must do the devil's bidding. All right, that didn't work. Thanks. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Chef Boyardee's culinary school wasn't that difficult. He was definitely there on a football scholarship. Oh, holy shit. This is crazy. I'm like a little kid with ADHD up here. My great-grandfather had a pretty crazy life. He traveled the world and like was a world-class hunter and all this stuff. And years after, he died in 1997. And years later, we found a bunch of like home films from him basically, and we got them restored. But there was one little issue. He's no longer with us, and none of them have audio. So you have to kind of guess what's happening in the movies. Most of it's self-explanatory. Like there's one where like I can see my mom as a little baby running around. It's Christmas time. They're opening presents. That's awesome. That's so cool to see that. But there's this one film where it's called Fishing Trips. And it's mostly like you're able to figure it out, but about 8 minutes, 36 seconds in, after you're just seeing lots of people with fish or on a boat, at the 8-minute, 36-minute mark, it suddenly turns from a guy on a boat to 2 other guys on a boat, but they're also with a lion wearing a hat. Like a little did you not hear me? A lion wearing a fucking baseball hat on a boat. And they're just waving like 2 idiots, like it's totally fucking normal. It's like, hey, there's no audio. Our great-grandfather's no longer with us. We can't be like, what the fuck is up with the lion boat people? What is that? It's crazy. And then it just goes right back to people fishing and stuff. And it's like, what just happened? Do you know, like how boring watching people fish is after you've seen that? It's crazy. My only theory is that those two guys on the boat with the lion, they were day drinking. And they're at a bar, and they're having an argument, who is the biggest apex predator? And one guy's like, oh, it's lion, king of the jungle, for sure. And the other guy's like, it's a shark. And they're like, we'll settle this right fucking now. They get on the boat, and then we got that footage, and that's the last footage of these people ever. Like, I have two other families' great-grandfather's last whereabouts, and we don't know who they are, so we can't contact them. Oh, man, you guys are so fun. About 6 to 28 times a week, my wife gives me a panic attack. Here's what happened. I'll walk into a room and she's sobbing. And I'm like, oh my God, and what is wrong? Are you okay? I think somebody's died. And then she just goes, I'm watching a rescue video for a dog. And I'm like, oh, thank God. That's all there is to that. That was a bad... It's weird. She'll be like, you want to see it? I'm like, no, I want to see the end. I want to see when it's all fluffy. I don't want to see the sad, skinny dog. Okay. All right. I gambled too far. Oh, do you guys like Florida man stories? Yes. Do you mind if I read you a few of my favorite Florida man headlines over the last few years? This will be fun. Probably should have organized this better. Here we go. All right, here's a Florida man headline number 1. Headline, Florida man crashed car in a FedEx truck while receiving oral sex. This is a real headline. When asked to comment, the man said, the good news is my package was handled perfectly, if you know what I mean. Get it? Hell yeah. Blowjobs are kick ass, brother. And then he shot a gun into the air, chugged a natty light, and sang Sweet Home Alabama. Here's another Florida man headline. Here's the headline. Florida man gets bitten by alligator after mistaking it for a dog. Only way this could be more of a Florida man headline would be if it said, Florida man and area Hoobastank Brooks and Dunn hybrid cover band singer arrested after fist-fighting libtard and face-fucking a catfish while shooting fireworks at local strip club and high-fiving a racist alligator in celebration of sister giving birth to his son, Daryl, at a Fort Lauderdale Waffle House. All right, one more. Starting to lose you guys at the end. Next Florida man headline. Florida man can't visit mother's grave due to mysterious ooze leaking from mausoleum. Yeah. When asked to comment, the funeral home director said, this is fucking Florida, dude. Of course there's ooze coming out of his mama's grave. We're a disgusting people. I don't know, if you don't want slime oozing out of a grave, go to Connecticut, Mr. Fancy Pants. Jesus Christ, who does this guy think he is, Mr. Peanut? You don't even want to know the shit that was coming out of my Pap-Pap's grave. It smelled like beefy farts and toenails. I'll end that segment there. Okay. Yeah. Do you guys have any OCD friends that try to like keep their phone at 100% or as close to at all times? It's crazy. I have a buddy that's always like, I gotta keep it up. And I have a touch of OCD, but I keep my phone at 69% at all times. Yeah, right, dude. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.